All right, guys. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the symbol puzzle project, and we're going to get this. We've already got it rotating from our last video, so if you've missed that, check in the top right hand corner here. I'll have a card going for it. But other than that, what we're going to be doing is making sure that whenever the player does rotate these pillars, whatever symbol is underneath the pointer here will be red, and we can then test it to try to open the door over here using that. If you followed the candle video, you'll want to set up your symbols accordingly with whatever color they have. These are separate objects, so this script will not affect these at all, but if you want to use these as the way to give the hint to the player, go for it. We won't be covering any further on the candles though. So without further ado, let's jump into it and let's get this guy finished up. All right, so one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to right click in our symbol puzzle folder, and I'm going to go to blueprints, enumeration. In here, we're going to set up the puzzle symbols underscore enum. And what this is going to do is it's going to house all the names of the symbols that we have. And I'm going to use our order that we already have in here as a way of doing it. So at 0, we have our, I think this is called onk or life, or I'm not sure. We have the water. We have eye of raw. Correct me down in the comments on whatever these symbols are if I'm getting them wrong. And the scarab, which probably means something way more important than when I'm making it sound off. Like, all right, so we're going to use these symbols, and now we have a nice list of them that we can check against and make variables with and all that good stuff. But for now, we don't need this anymore, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to go into our symbol puzzle BP, and I'm going to make 2 new variables. First one being, actually they're both going to be the puzzle symbol enum. I'm going to go ahead and right click to make that an array, and then hit the eyeball. It's being a little laggy today, which is weird. And then I'm going to name this the correct answer. So this will be the answer that is actually needed for the puzzle to pass, for the player to give this answer. I'm going to compile really fast, and I'm going to make sure to add the amount of pillars that we have, which is 2 for us. We got that one and that one. There we go. File, save, and then I'm going to duplicate this. This one will be the player answer. Same thing, make sure this also has 2, so I'm going to compile again. Yeah, it has 2 elements, good. And so now we need to start setting up different functions that will basically tell us what the answer or tell us what the player has entered in, and we can check that against the answer. So the first one we're going to be getting, it will be a basically we're going to be getting the rotation of the turntable and finding out where it's actually at, like what symbol is it pointing at based off of that rotation. So we can call this one get pillar answer by rotation, or by rot, or however you want to do it. I'm going to just say rotation. I like my functions to be nice and descriptive. And inside of here, we're going to just need a rotation. So input, so I'm going to pass in a rotator. And I'm just going to call this rot, or actually pillar rot. There we go. Make it easy to find. And then I want to hold B, left click at a branch. And then I'm going to right click and say get pillar rot. And we're going to say equal. There we go. So this this float here is a tolerance. So basically this could be, if I set this up to be 0, 0, 0, it could actually be 0, 0, 0, 0.1 if I say 0.1, right? I'm actually going to give it a tolerance of 1 So it could be 1, 1, 1 on all these, and it would be perfectly fine, or -1, -1, -1, wouldn't matter. And for our purposes, that would be perfectly fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that tolerance in there just in case. Then we want to make a new local variable. I'm gonna right click to make that not an array anymore. And this one, I'll just call this the answer. Okay. I'll hold Alt and left click, or left click and drag out, and we'll get our answer. So now we know that at 0, 0, 0 on ours, it is the life symbol or the onc. So we can keep that like that. And then we can right click and say return node, add a return node. And what we're wanting to add is this answer, or what we're wanting to return is this answer. I'm going to name this pillar answer. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy paste the branch and the rotation check. I'm going to plug it into the false. This time we want to look for 90 on the Z. And if it's 90, then rotate around this guy 90 degrees. It's water. Copy paste this one to water and plug this in up here. Probably go ahead and move this down. And then we can just grab all that, copy paste. This one will actually be -90. So we'll go back to our pointer and go left 90 degrees, and that is the scarab. And then basically, if it's anything else, which actually would be 180 instead of anything. If it's anything else, it would be the eye of raw. We can just plug both of these into our pillar answer return node. And there you go. We've gotten the answer from the rotation of the turntable itself. So now we need another function that will check this answer, or will not really check this answer, sorry. We'll get this answer and set it up as the player's answer. So basically we're setting up the player's answer. So set up player answer. So for this one, all we really need is a sequence. So we can hold left click and, or hold S and then left click and get the sequence. It's gonna, so basically it'll do what this line first and then this line. And what these will be is our turntables. So our green, make sure that whatever turntable you want to be index 0, you do first, and then do them in the correct order after that. And then we're going to grab our blue turntable. Those will be index 1. And what we want to do with this is get the relative rotation. Being really laggy today. I don't know what's going on. Copy, paste. Plug this in here. Right, and then we're going to call our get player answer by rotation. Plug this in, or pillar answer, sorry, not player answer. Copy, paste. We're going to do it twice. And plug this one in here. And now we want to grab our correct answer. They get. And we'll do set array element. Plug this in. And since our green is our index 0, I won't be messing with this. And I'll just take our pillar answer and plug it into the item. Okay, and then we can take this guy, we can copy, paste. Plug everything back in. But we're going to want to switch our index here to 1. And if you have more than just 2, like where I did on the demo video, then you'd want to do, you know, your index 2, index 3, index for however many answers you have, or however many pillars or tables or whatever it is you're using. Okay. So now we need a way of checking the answer against the or the player's answer against the actual answer, the correct answer. So another new function. This one we'll just call check answer, I guess. Okay, and in here we're going to take the correct answer. We're going to do a get on it, and then we're going to say for each loop, and we'll get the with break version. Trying to make this a short video, but it's getting laggier and laggier by the second. I'm going to try and go faster and faster so that we can get this done. All right, so we're going to pull off this array element here, and we're going to say equal, and we're going to get the equal enum. Then we're going to pull our player answer out. I'm going to say get, and then pull off again and say get. We'll get a reference to it, and then we're going to get the index, our index that we're on right now, and we're going to put that in there. Basically what we're doing here is we're saying at index, let's say 0, is the answer at index 0 on the player answer the same thing? If they are, cool. If they're not, then we need to do something. We need to stop it and say, hey, you screwed up. We're going to get a not boolean. So scroll to the top after typing not, grab the not boolean, and then I'm going to do a branch, left click and B, or B and left click, however you want to say that. And then we're going to set up a new local variable. I'm just going to call this winner with a question mark. And we're going to make sure to switch this to a boolean. Bring this out, hold Alt and let go. And we're going to say that they are not a winner in this case. We're going to drag that all the way back to our break, and we're going to stop this because they've already messed up. We don't want to keep going. Come on, man. There we go. Sorry about this, guys. Being really, really laggy today. I just gotta power through it. Try to speed up parts of it in the editing. Yay, more editing. All right. So what we're gonna do is, oh, I just remembered something. So whenever we interact with this, you notice that we turn off rotate, so we can't rotate anything else. Well, the issue is we're actually going to be interacting with a button, and it's going to follow the same rule. It's going to say, oh, you can't interact with anything else until can rotate is set to true again, which in our case we were waiting until the timeline was done, but if in the button's case the timeline will never get fired, so this will never get fired. So what we need to do is go back in our check answer here and set can rotate. I'm gonna hold Alt and left click and drag it out, plug it into completed, and set it to true. We want to make sure that we can rotate again, and then we want to do a return node, and we're just going to pass the is winner information out, so we can grab our local variable winner, and I'm going to pass that out. Oh, one thing I forgot, the winner, we need to set its default to true. Forgot about that. And I'm just going to call this is winner question mark. So yeah, I went too fast on that. Our boolean here, our local boolean, we do want its default to be true, so that basically it only gets set to false if it ever finds an incorrect answer. Okay, and that is our check win, unless I'm missing something. I don't think I am. So now we need to set it up for this to even get called. And the way that I did my puzzle was we had a lantern you'd walk up to, you hit E, and it would light up for a second while it was checking the answer, and then if it was wrong, it would turn off. But if it was correct, then it would just open the door and it would stay lit. Not gonna worry about doing that. It's just basically a material change. You guys have probably seen me do that 1,000 times, so I'm not gonna worry about that. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna set up a cube and use it as a button. So I'm gonna select self here. I'm gonna just grab a cube, or you can use static mesh, however you want to do it. I'm gonna name this the door button. I'm gonna go to viewport here. We're gonna grab this guy. I'm gonna drag him to the side here, and I'm gonna scale him down. I actually type this in because it seems to be being really slow. So 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. And you know what? That's probably good enough. I don't want to go too far into making a pretty button. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back out to the level. You'll notice this guy is out here now. I can scroll down on our symbol puzzle here. We can find our door button. Now I have control of it, and I can move it to where I want it. Maybe I want it here. Maybe this is a book, or in our case in the demo, it was a lantern. Whatever it is, that's going to be what we interact with to check the answer of the puzzle. We're going to go back into the puzzle here. Go to the event graph. Oh, before I get too far ahead, this door button here, we want to set up a tag for it. And I'm just going to call this the, we'll just call it door button. Easiest thing. Door button. I'm gonna select all on that and then copy it so that I make sure that I get it correct over here in the event graph. We're gonna come back up to our on event on interact, go to the switch on name, add a new pin to this, and we're gonna go into its options here, and on its new option, this case 0 that it just came up with, I'm gonna paste our door button, and then we can come off of here and we can check the or set up player answer. Forget what I named the function. And I'm going to give it a delay. Oh, it's giving me a delay, looks like. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to give this a delay for about 0.25 seconds. Just so we're not, well, basically I'm using this. If you guys wanted to do something like what I did with the light, or maybe you want the button to push in for a second, and if it's wrong, it pops back out, or whatever it is, basically where this delay is, that's where you guys would do that. And then I'm going to do the not check when, check answer, where I named it. There we go. So if we did pass, then we'll want to interact with the door. Tell the door to open up. But in order to do that, though, we need a reference to the door. So what we can do, though, is in variables, we can make a new variable. And I'm going to call this door to open. Its type will be the door, door PP object reference. Sorry, I did that a little fast. Just make sure to select object reference. Now let's make this instance editable. I can't say that. Instance editable. Editable? Editable. I can't say words. All right. So back in the event graph, make sure you have your Simon puzzle, or Simon, that was a long time ago. Your symbol puzzle selected, and click the eyedropper, and let's click the door, which in our case, remember, this is our door BP that we made. So yeah, just make sure that is selected. You can use eyedropper to do it, or you can even use this drop down if it's the only thing in the level that is of that type. You can select it either way. And that should, oh, I'm not quite there. Sorry, jumping ahead. We're going to pull out the door to open here, and we're going to say on interact with the interface version of it. I don't know why it's not giving me a message version. If anybody knows why, please let me know in the comments, because he's giving me this. I don't know, but it works, so who cares? I'm gonna pull off of actor here, and I'm gonna say self, and we're not gonna worry about the hit result because it honestly doesn't matter in this case. So yeah, that should work. Now what we want to do is set up the answer. So if I look at this, remember this is index 1, this is index 2. So if we go to correct answer here, or sorry, index 0, index 1, I said that wrong. If we set both of these to life, which they are both life right now, so we can actually test the door with the answer being like that. That's really framey. Sorry, I'm uploading a video at the same time. Horrible idea. Don't ever do it. We hit E on that, it opens. Cool. And then now actually let's change our answer really fast because we know it's supposed to be life, but we're going to switch it to life and then water and then try it. And you'll notice nothing's happening. Cool. So now let's switch this one to like water and this one to eye of raw. Okay. So we come over here. Now what you could do is you could hide those symbols, remember, in the candles that we made, and just make sure the color code your symbol to the proper thing. So actually green eye of raw would be completely wrong. I think I set this to water, and we can't interact with this one until that one stops spinning. Water, eye of raw. We walk over here, we try it, and it actually didn't work. Uh-oh. Is that the correct answer? Water, eye of raw. Let me try that one more time. Maybe I entered it in wrong. Water. I have raw. Okay, so something's going wrong. So let's find out what it is. One of the things we can do is trying to think of where would be a good spot to do this. Actually, let's do it here. What we can do is we can get our symbol to rotate. Remember, and if you can't find it, it's under components here on the side. I'm just gonna copy paste it from over here, and we're gonna get the rotation, the relative rotation, and I'm gonna print that. I'm gonna do print string. Then I'm also going to get the answer by rotation, and we're just going to pass in our rotation, and then I'm going to do another print. I'm going to say to string off of the output. So enum to string. I'm going to plug that into our print. Now we should get the rotation and the string. Okay. Or the name of the symbol that should be showing up. So I'm gonna rotate here, see what it says. Water 90. Okay. I have raw 180. Scarab is negative 90. And life. So everything seems to be good. You want to check something, so get pillar answer. Wait, no, set up player. Turntable, green turntable, all that looks correct. Okay, so the only other thing I can think of is we can come over here just before our return node, and we can do a print text. Off of this text, I'm going to pull off and say format text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it tell us what the correct answer is. So correct answer. And I'm just going to put this in parentheses. And then inside of the parentheses, I'm going to do some curly brackets. And I'm going to say answer 1 inside that curly bracket, and then outside of it I'm gonna do a comma, and then curly bracket, answer 2, close curly bracket, which will give me these two answers. And then I'm going to write in here player answer, and then we'll do curly bracket P1 end curly bracket comma curly bracket P2 end curly bracket, and then close the parentheses to give us those P1 and P2. So then I can grab our correct answer and our player answer. Let's say get on both of these, so copy paste, switch this one to 1, grab both, copy paste, and then plug in our player answer and our correct answer into that one. Move this out, give us a little bit of room, and then I'm gonna say to string, enum to string on that one, copy paste, paste, paste. Plug all these in. Okay, so now every time it's incorrect, it should read out what is wrong. So it's still thinking that everything except a life, and our correct answer actually is water, eye of raw. But it's okay with, let me see. Correct answer, life. Okay, yeah. It is life in the beginning, but we're switching it to eye of raw and water. Why? That doesn't make any sense. How are you getting switched back? Oh, okay, right here. So in our setup player, I accidentally used the correct answer portion when we're supposed to be using the player answer array. We're setting the player answer array, and instead I was setting the correct answer. My bad, guys. All right, so that should now read out that it is incorrect. Correct answer, water, eye of raw. Player answer is life and life. All right, but the correct answer was what now? Water, eye of raw. So if we switch this one to water, as it's done spinning, rotate, eye of raw, press E, the door opens. Cool. All right, sorry about that, guys, but that wraps it up. That's it, we're done. You guys can hopefully go forth and use this thing in a whole bunch of different ways. Make sure, if you guys have any questions on how to add anything to it, let me know in the comments below or join the Discord. Link will be in the description. But other than that, guys, I really want to thank my patrons, Jordan, Steve, all you guys. Thank you guys so much for helping me out along the way on this this crazy journey and being very patient for my videos. I just uploaded a video actually while we were recording this one. I'll get this one edited and get it out to you guys as soon as possible. Till next time, thanks.